Here's how I went from working at Tesco all the way up to a full-time OFM agency owner. In this video, I'm going to be taking you through a few major points and my exact journey on how I started at Tesco and moved up all the way to leaving and going all in on my OFM. Me talking about points such as how did I even start at Tesco, getting started out in online business, learning and even getting started with OFM, then obviously leaving Tesco and going full-time. I'm going to be deep diving into all of the lessons that I learned along the way so you can implement them into your life and hopefully go ahead and do the same. If you don't know who I am, random kid here talking invest, I'm Money Mace. I'm a normal dude, but I run a 6-figure per month OnlyFans management agency and I'm co-owner of OF Money, the most elite private group and course in the OF space. And so without blabbering on too much, let me get right into it. And this is just a pre-warning. If you can't give me 15 to 20 minutes of your time and attention in order to understand the skills or the lessons that I used in order to go ahead and leave my job that I didn't like, and you want to implement it to leave your 9 to 5, then just click off, because you're never going to make it anyway. And for everyone that is tapping in, I want you to be here with your notepad and pen. I want to see your notes in the comments and I'm going to hold you accountable. I'll be personally replying to every single person comments under this video. Just drop me any questions that you have throughout. Make sure to take your notes. Let's get into it. And so right now we'll get into point 1, acquiring my sought after Tesco role. Well, at least it was when I got it. When I got my Tesco job, it was still during coronavirus times, right? And if you know here, there was literally no other work on apart from supermarkets open. So at this time, I was in an even worse position than I was working at Tesco. I was a pot wash, scrubbing plates at a local restaurant. I think I was 17, 18 at the time, right? Bottom of the bottom, really, in the food chain of life. And my boy had hit me up. His dad was actually the owner of the manager of this store. And he said, look, if you can turn up today with your passport, you've got a job. And right now you've got to remember, everyone's gone into lockdown. Nobody's generating cash. I myself wasn't generating cash. I was on like 500, 600 pounds a month, working a couple days a week at this pot wash. So going into it, I thought, yeah, brilliant time to start stacking up some cash, getting some money behind me while I figure out just exactly what it is that I want to do on my next steps. Just finished sixth form, didn't want to go to uni. So I had to start maybe looking at a job, but right now I had a little bit of time to think and build up some capital behind me. And so there I was, starting out my Tesco career, go there, get as many shifts as I possibly could, stack up some cash, go home, beers and war zone, typical coronavirus times. I didn't know any different at this time, and I wish I did, right? But it's just the path of life that I was going down. No one around me, no one in my local area was doing anything different, so I didn't think anything of it. And this was, of course, until I come across online business. But just before I move on to that, I'm going to touch on a very important lesson, and that was getting some capital behind me, right? A lot of people will try to go into online business before having a single penny to their name, for having a single piece of value to offer. You've got to remember, this is a marketplace. You're providing value, offer, service, product in exchange for money. If you've got nothing, how can you possibly go into business to start? Unless you're offering a service or something, but 9 times out of 10, you have no skill set to actually offer that service. You have no credentials. So rule 1 or lesson 1, I would say, is get a little bit of money behind you if you're at square one. Go and get a job, drop your ego. Get a bit of capital behind you so you can reinvest in yourself and circumvent that entire time process that it takes to building something up, a skill set, buying some stock to obviously sell on, all these types of things that nobody really will tell you. So, oh no, just go all in on your business, bro. The harsh reality is you're gonna take a lot longer time in order to get to your desired position if you don't have a little bit of money to invest into a mentor, invest in some private groups, invest into a course, some education, which is going to further yourself in all of these business models. And you're going to hear about this lesson later on in my journey where it came in super clutch with having that little bit of money behind me. So point 2, getting started out in online business. Right, and so I know about 9 times out of 10 of you is hit by the exact same Forex scam that I was. I was sitting there scrolling through Instagram, got targeted by an ad. I think his name was Laxira, waste man. But I understand his game now, so fair enough to him. He was eating off of everybody's vulnerabilities in wanting to make this quick online cash, myself, right? And a lot of other people in the marketplace now. So there I am, scrolling. Here's how to make a few £100 a day trading from your phone. You don't have to pay me anything. I'm gonna send you my free course on how to do it. You deposit to this broker. How he makes money is when I deposit my £300, he gets that money because over time I'm going to redeposit more money and the broker's just going to take it. Forex scam exposed, right? To any of you watching this who was interested, if you think you're going to make it as a trader, this is what I'm going to get into in point 2 and 3. It's a very hard industry, don't recommend. So there, I've been introduced to the online world of business, sitting there thinking, scrolling on my phone, place a few trades, can make a few £100 a day. But I was sitting there and I was thinking, as one day I lost it all, right? If I've lost it all, surely there is somebody out there who has made it all. And this is when I went down the whole Forex conundrum. I was on this road for 2 years and this is what I'm going to touch on in a minute, is how obviously this sparked my interest into online business. I knew that there was another path to take at this point. I never really wanted to get a job or go down the university route. That wasn't for me. I wasn't that much of a sheep, right? But I always wanted to get a job, and a high paying job, because I knew there was always something that was like a leverage point that was more rewarding, not just having some average job. Like I knew you could get like a top end level job, I don't know, something in finance where you would be paid significantly more money. Who doesn't like money? I loved money as a kid, right? You get access to do whatever the fuck you want when you've got money. And I know it now, from having a lot of money, you can do a lot more, right? There's doors that are opened that you would necessarily never have been able to get into just by having money. Life's a lot more fun, you can do what you want, there's less stresses. The only stresses I have to deal with now are non-money problems, and that is when things become an actual problem. But you don't want to have any money stress in life. Going out to eat, going on holiday, going and not being able to get time off work to go see your sick family, like that's all bullshit. You need to take control now. So now I've started going down the Forex journey. So I've started studying charts, doing all of this, putting all my time and attention into it. And luckily, my dad at the time really believed in me. This guy literally let me work at Tesco, like carried on for the next year or two. While I was at home, learning how to trade, trading live markets, losing a bit of money, trying funded challenges. And this is really where they're going to turn us to the next pivotal point of my story, which was learning the disciplines inside business. So obviously I'm trying at Forex, I'm trying, nothing seems to be working. But I keep going down these repetitive cycles where I'll be really disciplined for a short while, make a lot of progress, and I'll maybe fall off, go out with some friends, pick up some bad habits, and then fall off again. So you've really got to stay dialed for an extended period of time. I'm saying your life can really change around in 3 months. And when I get onto my later points in this journey, you're going to understand how things really took a turn for me. So despite constantly losing at Forex, ups and downs, I always had this innate feeling inside of me that I was going to make it, that I was destined for more. You know when you like see a vision board, but you actually feel like you're going to get there one day. So I always had this inside of me. I knew I was going to make it happen. No one believed in me, and a lot of people were telling me Forex was a scam. I naively, at the time, was saying, no, it's not, I'm going to make it, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? Yes, Forex is a scam. Now I understand it's not a full scam. There is some people who make money off of it. Extremely low percentage. Much higher probability of starting your own OnlyFans management agency and making 10x more money in the same duration or time frame that you would from Forex. Inside 2 days, you can make more money with OFM than you would in Forex in the first like 6 months. So during this time, I'm doing a bunch of learning about all different side hustles. My current partner to this day, Tom, he was working on different side hustles as well. And this is where I'm going to get into point 3, where things take another turn. So now I hear about and learn about what even OFM is and how did this get into my sphere of reality. So my business partner and my boy at the time, Tom, he was starting out in business himself, trying many different things, from SMA, we even started a clothing line together, to vending machines. He understood that we was lacking something in our lives. And I didn't quite know what it was yet either. But he had essentially paid to join this private network online that he'd seen about, group of young hustlers, people who are all making online money. And we've started to realize there's a realm of reality where people are actually making this big money, but we just didn't quite have access to it yet. So he's joined inside, and he started networking with people, right? Networking online, messaging them, speaking with them, finding out about a few more different side hustles that people were genuinely having success with. And one of the pillars in there was OFM. So he's checked it out and he started speaking with a few people on that topic. I tried to stay on trading, but I just luckily, actually looking back in hindsight, failed a funding challenge. So I had a little bit of time freed up. I was going to give myself a little block of a 1-2 months before I got my head back in the game and started dialing back in with trading. And so this is where the big turn happened. Tom had gone to one of these meetups in London, where a few of these hustlers had met up just to discuss some game, meet up with each other, and just build that interpersonal connection, relationship, the power of your network. So as he's at that meetup, he's met and conversed with one of our good friends to this day. And when he was speaking to that person, they said they just started OFM, and in their first month, they made 30K. Tom's jaw hit the floor. And I know when he came back to tell me that night, he said, bro, appreciate what you've all done with this Forex thing and appreciate what I've done with SMA, but we're trying this new shit, OFM, and we're running it the fuck up. And I was like, all right, look, let's give it a try. So he's referred me and got me into this group as well. And now I'm a part of it. I'm in there learning a little bit more about what OFM is, how do we even get started? And amazing thing about my business partner as well, he's always about quick action. So right off the bat, he's like, yo bro, first thing to do is we need to get a model. Let's start maxing out our fucking DMs. Our Instagrams was absolutely dog shit. We hit a cigar lounge, we took some little Andrew Tate pics, right? And then we just hit the DMs. Boom, 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 right? This is what I say with a lot of people out here. You're overcomplicating it. Less information is sometimes more. I knew what my next step was. I need to get a model. So what did I do? I focused on getting a model. Some people will try to learn what step A, B, C, D, E, F, trying to learn what step G is, and they haven't even got past the first hurdle. What's the point in that? That's what I always tell people that come through with OF money as well. Why are you worrying about scaling with automations, VAs, and running your agency from 100K to 400K? You haven't even got a model yet. You need to focus on the very next step. Deal with each problem as they come, and then you'll make more progress. So let's go for a quick little recap. I was at Tesco, I learned about online business. I started trying to trade Forex for a couple years, didn't make any cash. And then I learned about what OFM is, and then I've just started out in my OFM journey. And some points along this way is build up a bit of capital behind you, learn about online business, start a good online, don't start the wrong online business because you'll be there going around in circles for ages. Then buy my way into a network and get access to a level of information which is gonna circumvent this time horizon of me getting to success and then starting out in the right business model. And this is where it's gonna bring me up to now about how I go from starting out in OFM to going full-time in it. And this is a super interesting part of the story, which I know everybody is here for, and so I'm gonna get into it in detail. So now me and Tom are there, DMs. We didn't know any different. Or we knew a little bit of different. You can run ads, you can run DMs straight to models. There's a bunch of different ways to do an outreach. And this isn't an outreach video, so I'm not gonna get into it specifically. I'm talking about my story and what I did. I was there every single day, maxing out my DMs with Tom, hitting up models, potential models, anyone who I thought could be an OF model for my agency, right? I knew that was my first problem that I need to overcome. So now me and Tom are there, DMs, every single day. That was our sole focus. We had to get a model on board. Don't have an OF agency without having a model signed to it. You can't generate cash if you don't have access to an OnlyFans account. So that was all we was doing, DMing models who were on the platform and models who were not on the platform, who were potential models, who we could pitch this idea of doing OnlyFans to, non-nude, whatever it was, and come on board to make cash with us. And we could obviously scale their accounts, manage everything, and take our nice percentage. So we was hitting this up for a little while. After about a couple of weeks, we actually saw some success. We got some applies, got on some sales calls. I remember, this is a really important story. I took a sales call from the back of my car in Tesco. I didn't even have my break. I went and said to my manager, oh, I feel a bit sick. Can I go on my break? Because the girl had just hit me back up and said, I'm free now. I went to my car, sat in the back of my car, wearing my Tesco outfit. So I got on the phone and said, hello, yeah, dropped the smoke on her and signed her that evening, right? A lot of people aren't as committed as that. Bro, call in sick to work tomorrow and send some DMs. If you've got a call lined up with a model and it could potentially change your life, sacrifice some shit. I didn't really care about this Tesco job. I knew I was already destined for a lot more at this point. I already had that innate feeling was growing for success. So now I've got this model signed. I've actually still got her to this day. Super low quality model, don't speak to her, but she makes a bit of cash, all on autopilot, so I can't really say no to it. Nonetheless, we're gonna get onto the most important point of this story. Persistency and hard work equals success. And focus and all this other bullshit, but I'm gonna go through a list of some lessons at the end. Nonetheless, with DMs, and then we had our breakthrough moment. Tom DM'd one of these models and the boyfriend replied. He said, hold on mate, what are you talking about? He said, my girlfriend's been here on OF for about 6 months, she's only ever made 2 to 3K maximum. You're telling me you can take her to 20 to 30K by doing even less work than what she already is? I was like, yeah bro. So Tom's got conversing with him in the DM. He's turned around and said, hold on, do you know what? If this is true and this is legit, let's do a tester. Test it on her friend. Her friend, he got her friend on board to our agency and she was doing like $200, $300 a month. We took her up to 2 to 3K a month. So we 10x'd her account. Just hold on. Okay, now do it with my girlfriend. She was doing 2 to 3K a month. We took her up to 7 to 10K and he goes, all right, you know what? Now you've proven this to me. Obviously he was business minded. He was also very green eyed, which is why we didn't work with him anymore to this day. However, another long story, which I'm gonna get into probably on a podcast or something. But now this guy turned around and said, you know what? He was an OnlyFans creator himself. Is the ball clicking yet? The ball clicking. So he's now gone to us, look, I can bring you through a ton of models. You scale them up, weigh me in on a percentage. We're like, yeah, cool, no worries. Referrals, my G, referrals. So this is what I'm trying to teach people all the time. How you can maximize and optimize your position, leverage your position with nothing. I had no models, I had no credentials. I finessed my way all the way here. So of course, a few steps that I've maybe missed here. He's turned around and gone, where's your agency page? We cooked up some shit agency page within like 1 minute, bought some followers, bought some likes, threw some fake models on there, some testimonials, easy ads. People stop complicating it. Break down what you think is gonna be needed and even just start working at it, right? And then you'll soon encounter some fucking problems or like hit a bump in the road and then figure out, okay, what do I need to do? Do it and then keep moving towards that path of success. This is all me and Tom did. We really didn't know what we was doing. Like I said, we didn't have a course. We had access to this network. There wasn't even a course in there. A few maybe leaked ones back in the day that was pretty shitty. We were just speaking to a lot of people and building our network, conversing with people, trading value of what we had, perceived value. Maybe we could weasel our way into something. Nonetheless, this guy started bringing models through to us. And this is where things get really interesting. And this is how I go from working at Tesco still, chatting on some models accounts, managing them, making an extra maybe like a few $100s a month to a couple K a month now. So now I can really almost leave my job. And then he brings through this one model, right? This is the power of referrals, consistently bringing through models. We got the best pick of the bunch. He's brought through about 12 models. We're overwhelmed, but we keep bringing more and more on because then we hit the diamond in the dirt. So he passed this model through to our agency, who is a super niche model, and we didn't know quite the gem that we had on our hands at this point. So this is like mid-December, and we've just gone to launch her account with honestly a few Instagram pictures and barely any content. Like, she was super slow, but we just knew we had to get it over the line and start pushing in order to make cash. I kid you not, in my first day, the account generated 5K. Think about this now. We was 50-50 with this model, right? 25% for me, 25% for Tom. So when we've launched the account, I've made 1.2K in my first day on this account. I just looked at myself and I just said, this is it. I'm never going back to Tesco again. And that's exactly what I did. I waited until I'd made enough money or had enough recurring revenue, or there was enough proof in the pudding before I left Tesco. A lot of people do it backwards. They do it the wrong way around. This is what Tom did. Tom actually burnt the bridge. Tom burnt the ships and then made it work. Me, I was a little bit more conservative, which is what I would advise people also to do. So at this time, I was signed off from work, some other long story. So I was literally just sitting at home working, chatting on the account, bringing subscribers in, managing the other models, and now we've got cash coming in, right? So now I knew it was my time to leave and go all in on this business. So end of December comes around, I'm already making cash. I've already got my first cash out from this model's account. So I've had like 2K hit my bank account, cold hard cash. And obviously at this time, I'm making like 1K a month from Tesco, from working like 4 or 5 days a week. So I've literally freed up all of my time in one day's work. And now I'm doing that every day. I was loving life. And from here, this is where I knew it's time to set things up properly. I really learned the game. I learned exactly how to run traffic to models' accounts. I learned how to optimize sales on the accounts. And then I started learning how to get chatters, leveraging my time and putting my cash on autopilot. So it comes to Christmas Eve and I hand my notice in. They laughed at me because I've been telling Tesco I'm about to leave my job for the last like 6 to 9 months. Everyone always thought, oh, when are you gonna do this trading thing, mate? Well, guess what? Switched business models and blew up beat. So I hope you've been taking notes here. This is a bit more of a story, and I've dropped a few more subtle gems and more explicit ones than just going through list by list. So hopefully you've been able to take them in and understand where I've been able to actually implement them, and hopefully you can go ahead and do the same. So here I have some key takeaways. 1, get to work. 2, work at the right business model. 3, get a job. If you're at 0, if you're flat broke, lose the ego, get a job and get some cash behind you. 4, don't leave that job until you can. 5, believe in yourself. Nobody else is going to, so you have to. 6, never give up. No matter the adversity, no matter the bump in the road, keep on going. And number 7, do what it takes. Quick little story. When me and Tom was in this December phase of starting up and scaling this OF account, we had to be with each other the whole time. We couldn't just be in bedrooms, we couldn't just be in dining rooms. I had an outdoor shed, right? It was like a granny annex, which was completely run down, but I had this shed, I had 1 bar of Wi-Fi and we lived in that. It was freezing cold and we lived in that for like 30 days to 60 days straight, just churning cash, making it work, building out the systems, because we have to believe in ourselves and do what it takes. So as always, it's been Money Mace, and I'm gonna have to wrap it up because this camera's about to die. But I hope you've learned a few gems in this video. And so if you have, drop them down in the comments below. I wanna see your notes, I wanna engage with you. Let me know what you wanna see from me next. Let me know any questions you had about this little story and short journey. So drop me a thumbs up, drop me a quick subscribe, and as always, it's been Money Mace, I'm out.